All right, what's going on, boys? Akron here. Today we are going over the sub bass for Reaver. So this is a track I made probably about a year ago, and this is what that sub bass sounds like. Unfortunately, I don't have the original one. I made one like pretty quick, just to get kind of the general concept of how I make my subs. So let's play a little bit. I have the original audio file here, so let's play that. All right, perfect. So here we go. So this is the kind of recreation. I did this super quickly. It doesn't really sound exactly the same, but it gets the idea of like the general processing. So let's kind of listen to it. So I believe it was either probably not a sine wave. It was either a saw wave, a triangle wave, or a square wave. But I don't know which one, so whatever. I just picked saw wave because good enough. And then I am using one of these noises. Now, I would recommend just trying a bunch of them out and maybe even getting some from like the internet. I'm sure you can find some cool ones. Sometimes I use this. This one's nice. Bright white noise is nice. Like, they're all pretty nice, and they're all gonna give you like a different texture and feel. But let me just turn off something real quick because we're not there yet. So this is kind of what my sub consists of, which is usually like an oscillator, a noise, and then a distortion. What other things I might add on top usually aren't in Serum. So my Serum patches for the subs are very simple, which is why I use Serum for it, because I don't really need to do anything complicated. Sorry. I don't need to do anything complicated with it. And then in the envelope section, so I'll usually go route it to envelope 2, bring the sustain all the way down, and then tweak the decay, which is this thing, to either how long or how short I want the pitch bend to go down. So I'm routing envelope 2 to the master tune. For this one, I'm doing it plus 12 because I think that's what's in the track. Sometimes I do plus 4, plus 7, plus 9. I just go in whatever is good for harmonic minor. So those are usually the intervals that I go for. You could do plus 5 too. So I think you can do plus 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, I think. I'm not an expert on music theory, so definitely don't quote me on it. If I was held at gunpoint, I would say I don't know, because I'm not entirely sure. I just remember I saw a video like years ago with those intervals, so that's kind of what I've been using ever since. So yeah. So that's pretty much the sub in Serum. I don't think there's anything else to go over. Sometimes I'll add a filter just to kind of like cut out some of the, the high end of the saw waves. And then if you route it to noise, you can cut some of the noise out. Don't really want to do that unless you get something cool out of it. Didn't really touch on distortion too much, but I mean, you've got a ton of options here. And then if you even wanted, you could add like a saturator, which I probably did for this track. Actually, no, there's no saturator here, but you can do that. And then you can just go crazy with the distortion. You can really do whatever it is that you want, and it'll probably sound good eventually if you tweak the settings enough. OTT, I have no idea what the actual settings were, but for this I just put it 20%. You could do like 200% here. That way it doesn't like bleed too much. And then you have saturator, plus 6. I turned off the color. If you don't want it to be that loud, you can go plus 6 minus 6. And then it just kind of brings the output down, so you're not like bringing in a bunch of output and then it's bringing up this, your volume out. And then just a bit of EQing, just EQing some frequencies. Nothing crazy here. And then because this is a sub, you don't really need to go into the mid side. So there should be no mid side, realistically speaking. Another thing that you can do is you can duplicate this, and then if you wanted, you could take this one, bring it to like 500, and then this one, you could bring this one to say, let's say 500, and then maybe bring it back a little bit so it crosses over, and then you can have your sub be your sub, really, and then you can really like go crazy with the distortion. Oh, I already had saturator there. You can really go crazy with like the high-end distortion. And then that's all split up. That's not affecting this. You can do that. But yeah, there's a ton of things that you can do with your subs. You can split bands, and then you can also bring this level up or down, and that's cool. So yeah. My subs are very basic, but I think they sound really good. I actually helped Humanshin, if you know him. I think it was like about a year ago. I gave him some tips on how I made my subs, and since then he's gotten a release with Excision. I don't know how much I had to do with that, but hey, that's pretty cool. You know, someone that I helped figure out subs, got a release with Excision. I'm not complaining. Trust me, I'm not complaining. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope this is helpful. Honestly, a lot of subs, my subs at least, are just experimentation. I'm just trying to bring in like whatever the fuck, right? Let's put this in. That sounds fucked. That's not right. But maybe this one sounds cool. Because I know I made a track a while ago. I can pull it up here. Which I don't know how I made the sub. I know I have the project file somewhere, so maybe it's worth digging up. Where is it? This one. Right, and it's got this like pretty interesting textured sub, right? And that's just, again, experimenting, just messing around with shit and just seeing what happens. So yeah, anyways, music production is so much about experimentation and taking an idea that you get and then pushing it further, right? That's really the message that I want to get across with any of these tutorials is I'm giving you tools and then you have to just go crazy with it, right? That's how I learned. I would watch like Virtual Riot tutorials, and then I would just fuck around with like whatever thing he said, and I would just bring it to like 11, and then I would be like, hey, this is kind of cool, and usually I would kind of get a track out of that. So yeah, I guarantee you that if you utilize some of these techniques that I'm giving you, and then you bring your own flavor to it, you're gonna get great results. So anyways, thank you so much. Next video is the full track breakdown, so don't miss that. And I'm excited for it because I really like this track and it was a ton of fun to make. So yeah, I will catch you very soon.